due to popular demand.
English.
Zero viewers. So we did a quick answering of some questions that I got on Instagram in Japanese. We'll do it in English so he can just
Sound smart.
sound smarter and
Actually sound like I know what I'm talking about.
right. But this one will be pretty quick. It'll be like a lightning round. So, what do you eat for lunch?
I eat chicken, rice, and vegetables. Usually, so I'm getting about 40 grams of protein, about 70 grams of carbohydrates, and yeah, usually that's from rice, and usually very little fat as I'm pre-training at that point.
Right. So why is it that you don't want fats around your training?
If you consume fats before training, all the blood is going to go to your gut because it's going to be needed to digest. Whereas like protein and carbohydrates are pretty quick to digest, so you can eat that and then go train, and you don't have to worry about all your blood being in your gut. Instead, it can be in your muscles.
Wow.
Making you move fast.
Awesome. Perfect. Next question.
Hey.
I want to gain weight. Can you tell me how?
You need to eat more. And
Correct.
sleep more probably would help too. Usually people that can't gain weight aren't eating consistently, so I would say your first step would make yourself have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, probably a snack in between each one, if you can handle that many calories, and then eat the same thing for 2 weeks and see if nothing changes. Then from there, go ahead and add, I don't know, 20% of carbohydrate, 20% of fat into each meal and see if you start gaining weight then. And I mean, you just keep doing that ad nauseum until you get jacked.
Correct. One thing I want to add to that is, if you're going to add more food, add it with carbohydrates or fats. Eating more protein doesn't necessarily get you more jacked. Okay, so I would suggest adding more, keeping that protein intake the same, unless you're really not taking enough.
Right. If you're already eating about 1.5 to 2 times your body weight in grams of protein,
In kilograms,
Yeah,
right? In
yeah.
kilograms.
then you already are eating enough protein.
Right.
So if that should be your first place to start anyway when you are kind of breaking up your macros. So
Right.
after that, it's just about manipulating your fat and your carbohydrates anyway.
Right. If you're 70 kilograms in body weight, eat about 140 grams of protein, right?
Yeah.
And then just add more carbohydrates and fats to your meals. Next question.
Yes.
If I don't train every day, I feel like I'm getting weaker. Is this a fact?
Actually, the exact opposite is true. If you train every day, you are probably getting weaker because you're not letting yourself recover.
Right. So training is only as good as you can recover, right?
Right. You can only get as strong as much as you can recover from the training that you're doing. So
Right. So the whole equation is training plus recovery equals gains. All right, next question. Can you teach me some butt training or butt exercises that I can do at home?
we will make another video.
We will
all
make
about
another
butts.
video. Yes. We'll make another video, but it's recommended to go to the gym.
Squat,
You will get better results.
deadlift.
Next question.
Okay.
This is a really good question. We might make a whole new video on just this topic, but can you tell me the mindset you guys have as coaches during class and when we're running the class?
Yeah, so typically I'm looking at what the intent of the workout that we're doing for the day is. So, right, if we're trying to do some like hypertrophic leg training, right, trying to get jacked legs, then okay, how do we do that? And then I look at what clientele are coming in and how do I make that appropriate for those clientele.
Right.
So I would usually kind of balance those two things, and then I just have to think about how can I make sure that I'm achieving the intent of the workout for the correct client in 1 hour, right? That's kind of like the whole thing that we're trying to do here.
Right. So I agree with him. Pretty much the same thing. Just there should always be a purpose to the program, and then you want to deliver that purpose so your clients understand why they're doing it. Right. So as long as once you can deliver that message and they understand why they're doing the program, just improves the quality of their training. Just like why they're going to the gym in the first place.
Yeah, I think if you explain what you're trying to achieve for them, you're going to get more buy-in from your clients, and it's going to make it easier for you to get them to do what you want them to do, because they're going to also want to do that. If they're just coming into the gym and they don't know what they're trying to achieve, if they're just thinking I have to go to the gym to do this, when actually the program isn't designed for that, then they're going to be unsatisfied with the results, obviously, right? So you have to get them to buy in by explaining your expertise as a coach, and demonstrating, yeah, this is what we're trying to achieve, and getting them to also get on board with that.
Next question. I think I received this question because I always post myself drinking Monster energy drink, but isn't it bad for your body or your health if you drink too much Monster? Well, it depends what's too much. I mean, I don't drink 10 cans a day, so I think there's not enough research or studies to show how much is really a bad enough dosage at the moment. So I'm sure, you know, at some point studies will come out. But right now, if you're having just 1 can of Monster a day, it's not a problem. So next question, how do I increase my capacity? So this one's a really hard question.
Oh my goodness.
You can increase capacity in different, you know, many different areas of like fitness, right? Muscular endurance, just aerobic capacity, there's a whole bunch, so.
Yeah, see you better.
Right, it's
I think probably your first place you want to start is just kind of pinpoint what you want to improve first, right? What capacity is so broad, right? Capacity can be how much weight you lift, how long you can go for, how many times you can repeat the same effort. So you have to first define what you want to improve. That way you can create the priority to say, hey, I want to focus on this. If it's just general, then I mean just doing a general group class and just continually doing it will improve capacity as long as it's a well-balanced program over broad and time modal demands, you know what I mean? So like you can, the easiest way to get better at a certain thing is just to identify it and make it a goal and make it a priority and making sure you're hitting that. We can go into like a way deeper on that.
Right, we might make a whole different video just on that topic, or even have to break that into different energy systems, right? Because
that's a huge piece to conquer.
But specifically for the person who asked this, I think once you should just learn your pacing in your workouts. So if you're doing 5 rounds, don't go as hard as you can in the first round and then be 3 times slower on your last round. Just try and be consistent. All right, next question. I want to make my thighs smaller or thinner.
Are you a figure athlete? Like, is this a person that already like his nose are out of proportion? If that's the case, then yeah, maybe you need to kind of do some work with that and, you know, not train any quad dominant exercises. But if you are a person that has a very young training age and doesn't really work out and you're thinking my thighs are too big, then probably more likely than not you have too much body fat and that's actually making your thighs look too big. So what you want to do is probably just lose weight, but lose weight smart, right? Don't just starve yourself. You want to probably actually add muscle to give yourself nice lines. And then also, you know, slowly kind of start to reduce the amount of body fat you have. That would be my 2 cents on that, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you ever want to try and lose muscle mass because that is just terrible. That's a terrible idea.
It's really hard to gain muscle mass, so once you lose it, it's...
Yeah, so losing body fat is actually a lot easier and faster than gaining muscle. So you want to maintain that muscle and then lose body fat as much as you can. Yes, it is. Trust me, it's much faster to lose fat than gain muscle. So, yeah, maybe just nutrition is probably the best thing.
I mean, if you already have like crazy sized thighs, then it's either probably a response to a specific sport that you're playing, like rugby or something, or a lot of hiking or something, I don't know. Or it's just genetic and you are, you know, that's just an inherent trait of yours and you're destined for giant thighs and to make all the guys jealous because everybody wants giant thighs.
Right, so, yeah, I guess that's it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment or message us. Also, click like and subscribe. Yeah, that's about it. That's
nice. Good. Ask more questions.
Yes. Anything, any question is good. A simple, really hard question, we'll try and answer as many as we can. See you then.